And now to the shooting in Fort Lauderdale that happened yesterday, the one that sent an officer to the hospital and left the gunman dead. We're now getting our first look at that suspect, identified as a Margate man. Local 10's Syra Onwer has been covering this story since the very beginning for us. She has the latest information for us now. Syra?
So, Christy, we now know the name of the man police say was responsible for that big police presence we saw right here in Fort Lauderdale just 24 hours ago. That man who went on to shoot and injure a police officer. Police identifying 46-year-old Carl Kludinski of Margate as the man who called police Thursday morning from the Holiday Inn on Southeast 17th Street in Fort Lauderdale.
Caller reported that he had killed someone inside the hotel room.
Fort Lauderdale police and first responders taking over the area.
And more were coming.
Hotel guests say they were rushed into safe places.
Everybody get into this conference room.
A SWAT team making its way to the man's room trying to make contact.
Shots were fired at the officers at that time. Our officers exchanged gunfire. The suspect was discovered dead inside the room.
One officer was shot and rushed to the hospital, but is now back home recovering.
Another officer suffered minor injuries.
No one answered the door at the home listed under the shooter's address.
You can tell he was going through a bit of depression. He was going through a divorce.
Neighbors say this is Kludinski smiling in this photo, saying he might have endured some tough times, but they are shocked this happened.
I would have never expected anything like this. He was always a sweet man towards us. Even though he was going through some hard times, you could tell he was trying to push through.
A Broward County mugshot from 2019 shows Kludinski after he was arrested on charges of driving under the influence and drug possession. Now, police have not yet said if they've determined the motive for him making that initial phone call to police that prompted that large response. We do know that 3 officers opened fire. As is typical in situations like this, those officers have been placed on administrative duty as the Florida Department of Law Enforcement investigates. We're live in Fort Lauderdale. Syra Onwer, Local 10 News.